How would you like to learn how to make a beautiful and aesthetic looking ebook cover like the one you're looking at right here that took me less than 5 minutes to make? You've got the title, Social Media Marketing 101, as well as this arch, a photo, a subtitle, as well as an author name at the bottom. So you'll learn exactly how I made this step by step in this tutorial. So let's get to it. All right, first things first, the tool that I use to make the ebook cover is none other than Canva. If you don't have a Canva account yet, look in the description box below where you can get a 30-day trial of Canva Pro. However, you do not need Canva Pro in order to make the ebook cover I'm about to show you. Next, once you've created your Canva account, you're going to want to go to your account and click on Create a Design. Next, search for A4. This is the size for a typical kind of PDF ebook size. And you can see there's A4 landscape. We've got letter size as well. You can either select document, A4 portrait, or letter size. So that's usually the US letter size. Otherwise, it's A4 portrait. That's the one I went with. So that is what we're going to work with. We'll click on that once. And here we're starting with a blank canvas. Although Canva does offer a ton of templates to start with, if you do want to do that, you can go to design and you can take a look at some of the results right here. Really good designs here, but I'm going to teach you in this tutorial how to actually design one from scratch. So we'll move this aside, and the first thing we can do is add our title. So the book title, so that we can make sure we fit it in before we add anything else. On the left, you'll see text, click that, and then we're going to add a heading. Your font may look different, but this is my custom brown font right here. Don't worry too much because what we're going to do is edit and change the actual font style. But the main thing is to add your ebook title, whatever that may be. In my case, I've entered Social Media Marketing 101, and a quick tip here, if you want to fit it in nicely, it's good to kind of put some thought into this. So here you can see there's two lines. First line shows social media and second line shows marketing 101. If I didn't put that line break, you'll see how weird it looks like this. So it's good to put that line break where you see it fits, and it makes sense right here. And you can see the alignment, it almost starts the same at the same side right here, as well as the left and right. You don't always have to work in this fashion, but that's the way I've found is the easiest. Otherwise, you can get rid of this and create two of these headings. I'm going to duplicate this. So on my keyboard, I'm pressing the Option key on the Mac at least, and that creates a duplicate. And what I can do is put in marketing 101. But let's say we do not have marketing. This is what it's going to look like. And what you can do then is to look at the top, look at spacing, and we've got letter spacing. And what you can also do is spread it out so that the alignment is similar or pretty much the same. And that way you've got the alignment in a block. So it looks better in this fashion. So we can highlight everything and increase the size if we do wish to do so. However, we haven't actually changed our font style, so it's not really that step yet. But that's a handy tip if you do want to align your heading or your title in that kind of block format. But let's go back a bit because I simply want to add this into one text box. So we've got Social Media Marketing 101. The next step is to select our font. Now, if you do want this font or whatever the default is on your actual Canva account, then you can do so. Otherwise, it's good to play around with some of these fonts that are already included. I do have some uploaded fonts, but the easiest thing to do is to, if you do want that look that I created, which is what I do want to show you, is this particular font. It's called the Seasons. All right, I'll spell it out. So at the top, the search bar, you search for the Seasons, and that should come up right there. It should be a free font because there's no crown icon. As you can see here, it's for pro users only, but this is a free font, and all I need to do now is increase the size. However, you can increase the size later on, make those finer adjustments as well. But for now, we are done with the title. We'll come back to this later on once we've played around and added all the other elements. The next thing I want to show you is how to add an image or a photo to your book cover. What I'm going to show you is how to add the frame that you see right here. And in Canva, they call it frames. So if you go to Elements, scroll down, you'll see charts, tables, grids, and here are frames. Click on See All. If we go back and if you do not find frames, you can always search for frames by searching in the search bar there, and you'll see frames as one of the suggested ones. That should bring up all the frames. You can feel free to go through this, browse through the frame that you may want to use. You may want to go with this kind of element as opposed to the arch that I've got and designed. But if we scroll down, if you do want that arch, keep scrolling down and you will find it somewhere here. Again, you can use the search bar if you do want to go and find it really quickly. But the one I selected was this one. It is upside down, but that's where we can go and rotate it. So don't worry about the placeholder for now, as in the image placeholder, because we are going to replace it with our own photo. So once you've got it rotated to 100, minus 180 degrees, that is, you can see right there after I rotated it, we are going to adjust it. Don't worry too much about getting it perfect at the start. That's where we are going to make those finer tweaks. Now that you've adjusted the size, we are going to look back on the left, look for photos, and then search for whatever photo you want, depending on the topic of your ebook. I'm going to just search for office, and then we are going to select one of these photos. If I keep scrolling down, I want to search for that same photo that I used. If we go back, this is the photo that I used with this desk, minimalist kind of look. So I'll go back to the photos section and it is right here. Now you will see some photos that aren't freely available. You will need a Canva Pro account indicated with the little crown and Pro icon or label on the corner. However, you can also go to unsplash.com, which is one of my favorite places to download free stock images. You're free to use it for personal or commercial purposes. And I've simply searched for minimalist office in my case, and take a look at the quality of some of these photos. Really impressive, and that's why unsplash.com is my go-to for any stock photography. If you do find a photo that you like, let's say this one right here, you can simply download the photo to your computer and then upload it to your Canva design. But in my case, I've selected photos, which will bring up results from Pexels and Pixabay, which Canva also owns. And I'll select the photo that I selected right here and simply drag and drop it. The alternative way is to drag and drop it straight into the frame. And that's the exact reason why we selected frames, because it's got the template ready for us to drag and drop the image that we want appropriately. And so it keeps that shape that we want. And right here, you'll see that it's upside down. Not to worry, double click it, as in the photo, and you'll see the rotate button right here. Simply rotate it, and we're going to rotate it to the point where it's straight and the way we want. You can also crop it and move it where you actually want it. So let's say we want more of the laptop here. We want that. We'll then click away once we are happy with our selection. All right, next thing is the actual book cover's background. If you simply select on the background, nothing else as in the title or that, just click on the background, you'll see this background color palette. We're going to select something that goes with the colors of this cover. We can't select something like, let's see, this gradient just doesn't go with it. So don't do that. Select something that does go with the colors of the photo to stick with the brand. If you do want, you can take a look at the photo colors and then selecting one of the colors like so. You can go with the darker tones, but then that would mean you need to change the colors of the titles, things like that, so that it actually stands out. But in this case, I'll select a lighter color. In fact, what I'll do is select an even lighter color. So from the color palette, it will select the color and the code, the hex code of the color that I just selected. But then now what I'll do is decrease, or not so much decrease, but change the color so that it's lighter, similar to, of course, the demo that I showed you, which is right here. So that looks pretty similar. And the next step, we're not done yet, is to add our subtitle. So in order to add our subtitle, we have a number of ways you can do it. You can go to text and add a subheading. However, it's all kind of similar anyway. I'm not sure why there's too many options for adding text, perhaps for predefined sizes, right? But in this case, you can simply press T on your keyboard. That's a shortcut to insert some text. And what I'll do is I'll paste in that subtitle that I originally had. I've pasted it in, as you can see. However, I want to use a different font because this particular font doesn't go too well with a smaller size font size. So I will select a font called Roboto, if I pronounce that right. And this is the one, and it looks really simple, really clean. And if you do want to learn font combinations and what goes with what, and some suggestions and recommendations, simply do a Google search. Font combinations, you'll get a whole list of websites that provide some font combinations for you. The first result that actually came up was from Canva. So Canva's Ultimate Guide to Font Combinations. This will give you some suggestions, right? So we've got this serif font and the sans serif font. You can combine each of them. We've got the League Spartan, which is in this size, and then we've got the italic. So these are the font combinations that you could go with League Spartan, that's the font style, and Liber Baskerville as the kind of subheading, and then we've got the main body font, the same as this one here. So scroll through it, see which ones you like, and this should give you a better feel for what goes with what, as opposed to guessing and combining fonts that may not go together. But going back, these two do go together, and you can see right here, it looks pretty good. All right, so once you've added your subtitle, we are going to make a duplicate of this, again, holding the Option key. I believe it's Alt on Windows or PC. And then this is the area where we want to put your author name. So I'll just put by Aurelius Chin. You don't have to put by, you could just put your author name, you know, it doesn't have to be very descriptive. Whoops. All right, got my name, and we will make it maybe a little bit larger, make it bold. I mean, if you take a look at some of your books lying around, you can model that as well to take a look at how they've designed their book covers. But this is what we've got. We can lower it. This is where we go and position it as well. With Social Media Marketing 101, I do want to decrease the spacing. So if we select the title, go to spacing, we want to select line spacing, decrease it, and you can see in the back there, the space in between social media and marketing has decreased so that it's a bit more together as opposed to that extra space. So now that looks good. I'll just tweak it, play around with it. And the subtitle could be a little larger. And so we can select this, go to the top, maybe 18's good. But that's what 18 looks like. Then you've got the text that goes, that's not really aligned to the photo. So I've got this thing about making sure things are in the same position or have the same alignment. Maybe that's the perfectionist side of me, but that's the way that I've always designed things. But you can use the guides, right? As you can see, when I dragged, there's that purple guide right there. So if we keep dragging, that should give you an indication of where to stop, where to go. But you can see now with the guide that is kind of smack bang where the end of that line is. I'll just do that again. So now it is clear. Again, shift things, move things around so that it's aligned using the guides to help you and assist you with positioning. But that there looks pretty good. I could increase the size here a little bit, or you can simply drag to increase the size. However, the thing with having a minimalist look for your ebook cover is to have a lot of white space. So if you want that clean look and an ebook cover that's not cluttered, then a lot of white space does go a long way. At this point, you are pretty much done, and you can export this cover to then turn it into an ebook mock-up so it looks more realistic, or you could use this for social media purposes, uploading it as social media content, and of course actually adding extra pages. So you want to add pages, start writing your ebook, feel free to do so. Canva's got their magic function here where they can help you write and assist you in terms of writing your ebook. So that's pretty much it. And that is your aesthetic ebook cover in a few minutes. And just very quickly, if you do want to download the cover as an image, simply go to share, click on download, and it will select PNG. That is completely fine. And I'll just select page 1 and download. And that, my friends, is how to quickly and easily make a beautiful and aesthetic looking ebook cover. Let me know your thoughts and whether you'll be following these steps to make your very own ebook cover. I'd love to know. In the meantime, if this video helped you, by all means, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll leave up a couple of relevant videos for you to watch next. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.